Yo, what's cracking everyone? Eric Ship 111 here. So, with the Horizon Backstage being introduced into Forza Horizon 5 in Update 39, things have certainly changed. From here onwards, whenever you accumulate 40 points during a weekly festival playlist, no longer will you be rewarded with a car, but instead you'll receive a Backstage Pass, which can of course be exchanged for a hard to find car that's currently available in the Backstage shop. And as each week goes by, the catalog of Backstage cars will grow, and eventually every car that was ever introduced as a festival playlist exclusive will appear here, which means that from here onwards, the likelihood of seeing more than 4 new cars per monthly update, whether they are new to Forza, new to Horizon, or returning from a previous Forza title, is quite slim. The upcoming Series 40 Horizon Track Day update will most likely follow this new pattern. However, with the game about to enter its 4th year of live service, and with no signs of truly knowing when the next Horizon title will release, there are still quite a handful of monthly updates left that I believe Playground Games could explore. So in today's video, here are 2 monthly series update themes that I would love to see, along with the new cars that should be introduced in each of these updates before Forza Horizon 5 ends. So let's begin with the first update, which will be titled as Reborn Legends, and the theme for this update basically focuses solely on resto mods. You know, throughout the entire Forza Horizon series, there's only been a few resto mods that Playground Games have introduced. We first got the Eagle Speedster in the first Forza Horizon, which then made its big return in Horizon 4. We also got both the Gunter Works and Singer Porsches introduced, as well as a few Emery Porsches in Horizon 4, but apart from that, I can't think of any other huge notable resto mods that Horizon 5 has brought in. To me, I truly think there is a place for resto mods in the car world as they revive, restore and reimagine classics with today's engineering while respecting the character and legacy of what made the car a classic in the first place. So with 4 resto mods to choose from, the first car I would introduce is the Chimera Automobili Evo 37, built as a tribute to the last rear-wheel drive championship winning car in the WRC, the Lancia Rally 037. Honestly, I can look at pictures of this car all day. Most of the components of this Evo 37 is completely new. It's incredibly light, weighing at just over 1100 kilograms and producing 505 brake horsepower from a 2.1 litre twin-charged 4-cylinder engine. It's quick. It's very quick, but to me, what I like most about this is just seeing the subtle modern aesthetics injected to what is overall a very 80s looking car. Next up will be the Eccentrica Diablo. I know some may not like this particular Diablo, as certain features have been completely altered. The interior, for example, has been redesigned, resembling more of Doc's Time Machine than a Diablo. The absence of a rear wing was also an interesting choice, considering at the time the wing was what made these look incredibly aggressive, and the pop-up headlights have now been replaced with pop-down headlights. But again, that's what makes these resto mods unique. I would love to explore more of this car in Forza Vista mode just to see how different it truly is compared to the original. Our third car will be the Cyan Racing P1800. With so very few Volvos in Forza Horizon 5, I figured why not give us something classic yet has the performance to actually make it enjoyable in game. Engineered by the same team that created Volvo's first ever world title winning racing car, there's a real racing pedigree to this creation. Not only that, Cyan Racing is also featured in Forza Horizon 5 already, so why not introduce one of their more unique vehicles? And for the final vehicle, the car I would love to introduce is the ProDrive P25. I know at first glance, this doesn't look far too different to the 22B. However, from the engine bay, the interior, the rear wing, the front bumper, the wheels, there's actually quite a lot of improvements that make this Impreza better, including a true WRC experience. Honestly, I just love the two-door Imprezas, and even though I may never get to see this car in real life, having it in a game like Forza Horizon 5 will be good enough for me. So those will be the 4 cars that I would introduce for my Resto Mod theme update. Now let's move on to the next update, which I've thought about for years, which will be called Horizon Unicorns. And the theme for this series will feature rare and obscure concept cars. Now, in the past, the word unicorn was used especially during the older Forza games, particularly from Motorsport 1 through to Motorsport 4, where these unicorn cars may not necessarily be obscured vehicles, but more so cars that can only be obtained by racing against a Turn 10 developer or a special in-game event. So they were incredibly difficult to get a hold of, but for this update, the term unicorn refers more to obscure vehicles in real life. Now, when it comes to concept cars, both Forza Horizon and Forza Motorsport has had their fair share of very unique vehicles. If we go back to some of the cars from the Xbox 360 era, we had the Lamborghini Miura concept, the Ford GTX-1, and even the Mazda Furai. And if we fast forward to some of the more recent titles, cars like the Bentley EXP10, the Hyundai Envision 74, as well as the Jaguar CX-75 have all been included. But for my update, we'll be introducing some of the cooler concept cars from the past. So let's begin with car number 1, the Volkswagen W12 concept. Now, there were 3 racing games I remember seeing this car when I was younger. The first was Gran Turismo concept, the next was Project Gotham Racing 3, and the other was Test Drive Unlimited. Whether it's the Roadster or the Nardo variant, this would be such a cool addition to Horizon 5. It's a concept car in my mind that truly needs to be remembered by all. And who would have thought that Volkswagen at the time were capable of building something this spectacular in the 90s? For car number 2, I would introduce the Ford GT90. I remember back in Gran Turismo 2 when I saw the GT90 for the first time thinking, what kind of spacecraft have they built? It looked nothing like any of the other cars Ford had built at the time, and it certainly did not look anything like the car it was meant to be succeeding. Even the engine, a 5.9 litre quad turbo V12 producing 720 brake horsepower in 1995. I mean, that's absolutely absurd, and I love it. Who knows what would have happened if Ford actually put this into production, but either way, it's certainly a car worth introducing in Forza Horizon 5. The third car would be the 1986 Chevrolet Corvette Indy. In my opinion, one of the best concept cars Chevrolet has ever made. This was designed to showcase to the world that yes, this could be the 5th generation of Corvettes. What I love was just how far they strayed away from their typical Corvettes at the time. I mean, it was mid-engine, it was all-wheel drive, it was packed with technology like satellite navigation. It was even built using materials such as carbon fiber and Kevlar, which may not seem all that impressive today, but remember, this was almost 40 years ago. But what I love most is just how the car looks. I mean, this is truly shaped like a supercar, and to me, this is pretty much the Corvette C8 from the 1980s. And for the final car, I would actually reintroduce the Mazda Furai. Sure, it's impossible to get a full proper scan of this car due to its disastrous fate, but what we got from Forza Motorsport 4 looks to be a decent enough car model where, with proper upgraded textures, may perhaps be one of the few cars in the entire Forza series where us, the players, can actually overlook, as this was a concept car that was truly beloved by many car and motorsport fans. So those will be my 4 obscure concept cars that I would introduce for my Unicorn Horizons update. So here's a question for you. If you had a chance to introduce a new monthly update with a theme, what would it be and which 4 cars would you pick? Share us your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'm sure we'll get some really interesting cars along with update themes. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button as it really does help me out. And of course, if you guys would like to stay up to date with everything Forza related, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.